Overhead on a farm. Let's talk about it. So I recently mentioned a little bit about how we afford the farm that we have, and it's not just by farming. And I mentioned that sometimes with a farm, whether it be crops or animals, the gross income for the year might look great. But after the overhead is taken out, then the net profit is sometimes not even there. It's sometimes in the negative, sometimes meaning often. So what's overhead? What do I mean by that? What goes into like farming overhead? So I'll talk about my experience, which is mostly with animals. We don't do any crops. So overhead is the cost of the company. It is all of the expenses compiled that had to happen that year in order for the company to go round and round. So for us, we have plenty of full-time employees, so paying them is overhead. Equipment is needed to do just about everything. We need trailers, we need trucks, we need tractors, we need hay balers, we need hay tedders, we need hay rakes. I mean, a skid steer. There's all kinds of things that are needed on a daily basis or for seasonal use here on the farm. And a lot of times, that equipment decides to just stop working or break down or break completely, and then you got to replace it or you got to fix it or whatever. Accidents happen, wear and tear happens. So equipment, regardless if you have it or you got to buy it, is always going to cause an expense because equipment just loves to break down. While we own the land that we have the farm on, we still have to lease a good bit of land to keep extra cows on because we don't have enough space here for the amount of cows that we have. We also lease land to bale hay on. Equipment doesn't run on air, so we have diesel tanks and gas tanks here on the farm. We have basically like a little gas station for farm fuel, and so we have to get those filled quite often. The water is fortunately a well, unless we're going through a drought or unless we are using too much of the water because I keep buying horses or I keep putting in more automatic waterers because I want more pastures. So then we have to go to city water, which costs money. Also, the lights are on, which means I'm paying electricity. Also, these things eat a lot, so we got to feed them. Also, these things try to kill themselves on a daily basis. So vet bills. Also, just regular maintenance. So we have the farrier come out every 5 to 6 weeks. We do regular deworming. We do teeth on all of our horses every year. So they get their teeth floated. They get shots every year. So bare minimum, they're seeing the vet every single year. And they get their coggins done and they get blood drawn. And that's just for the ones that don't try to kill themselves or that we're not breeding. So this is a breeding farm. We got to pay for embryo transfers. We got to pay for inseminations. We got to pay for them to come out and check out the babies when they're born. We got to pay for weanling x-rays and yearling x-rays and all kinds of things like that. I'm also bougie with my horses, so my horses get chiropractic work and some of them get PEMF work on a routine basis. You could argue if that's needed or not. Also, when you have property, you have to maintain that property. So we're bush hogging it constantly. We're paying for the labor to do that. We are constantly putting up fencing, fixing fencing. We're constantly trying to improve. Or if we're expanding, we got to build buildings. Or we have to improve the building that we already have, which is what we're about to do. So this isn't necessarily a yearly expense, but we are about to do a remodel on the barn because it's been like 15 years. With the cows, it's kind of the same thing. We got to pay for the vet to come out and preg check them. We got to pay for the vet to come out and inseminate them. We got to pay for the upkeep on our bull. We got to pay for him to go get collected. And even though we're going to make money off that, there's still overhead that goes into that. So when we collect our bull, it's just not straight profit from when we sell his semen. We have to deduct the cost that it took to get the semen from him and frozen. So when she has a baby in 3 months, and if I sell that baby on day one for $15,000, I'm not making $15,000. Luckily, I own the daddy of it, so I didn't pay a stud fee, but I did have to pay for the vet to come and inseminate her, and I did have to pay for her upkeep for the year that it took to cook the baby. So after the year is over and we sell our cows and we sell some baby horses or some grown horses or some semen, yeah, it looks great on paper. It looks like we made a lot of money. But we did not. Because it cost more than we made to make that happen. And the goal is for that not to be the case. The goal is to make more than you spend. But I haven't figured that out quite yet without the help of social media. So if you figured it out, let me know. But we're just kind of keeping on until then. Hope that answered your question.